Knittingers, my name is Abby, and growing up in the Midwest, I know cold weather. So this winter I decided to think of a great way to recycle some of my old sweaters and make them into comfy and cozy scarves. And here is how to do it. So the first step for this project is to get a sweater, and if you're like me and you have your own private personal stash of pre-shrunken sweaters in your dining room, then you're good to go. But if you're like most people and don't have an entire dresser full of them, you can go to the thrift store and get 100% wool sweaters, and to shrink them, you're going to throw them in the washing machine at the hottest setting, and then throw them in the dryer, and as soon as that load's done, make a cup of coffee and you're ready for step 2. Before you go any farther, make sure you have the proper tools to finish this project. You're going to need a rotary cutter and a very sharp pair of shears, and a simple deconstruction at the seams of the shrunken sweater will finish up step number 2. As a side note, this project takes at least 3 sweaters to complete, and from these 3 sweaters you're going to get 11 different blocks that are 6 by 8 inches. And personally, I like to use a measuring board that is about 6 inches wide, so that way you don't have to do as much measuring. So you're going to take your rotary cutter, line it up against the edge, and cut away. Before you start sewing, make sure you have your entire scarf pattern laid out. That way you can be sure you like how it's going to turn out before you actually get the seam sewn in. And now comes my favorite part, the sewing. What you're going to do is make sure that the sides are butted up next to each other, and have your sewing machine put on the zigzag stitch, and then just sew it all together. And if you don't like to be wasteful, your final step can be using the bottom part of the sweater to add a decorative fringe to your scarf. And to really amp up the DIY factor, you can sew some yarn or antique buttons. And to really add some comfort, I like to use pre-shrunken cashmere and sew it into the part of the scarf that goes around your neck. And finally, enjoy!